Hey guys, we need to talk about missable iconic weapons in Cyberpunk and how you can get ones that you would have missed out on at a higher tier rarity as well. The new Phantom Liberty expansion has just dropped, and along with it is a vendor that I'm going to show you guys that is super important. You can see here I have a ton of tier 5 iconics from the new expansion, and in my stash here you can see a ton of tier 4 iconics from my progression through the story. I've collected quite a lot, as you can see, but certain missions and choices that you make can essentially mean you completely miss out on obtaining some of these weapons and items that are iconic and unique for yourself. But don't worry, I'm going to show you guys a quick tip. So in the actual Dogtown area of Phantom Liberty, there's this giant stadium that you can see here. If we open up the map, you can see it's in this sort of northeast part of the Dogtown area, and inside the stadium, which is one of the first places that you come to when you get here, is a bunch of vendors. But this vendor, the black market vendor, is going to be a super important one. So we're going to set a waypoint and we're going to head on inside. I'm going to show you guys where it is and explain some important nuances to do with this vendor. So this vendor essentially sells items, including the iconics, that you can miss out on if you didn't pick them up or pick the right choice during different missions for both the base game as well as the missions that come in Phantom Liberty. This vendor's storage, because of this, is going to be different for everyone. So depending on the choices and the quests that you've done, there either will or won't be items like there is in mine. You may already have some of these items, but essentially any that you missed out on will be in this vendor, and that includes ones that you don't even know you've missed out on, because there's a few weapons in here that I didn't even realize that I had skipped, but now you can get them. And the great thing is, by picking them up in this expansion, they all upgrade to tier 5 rarity, which in my opinion suggests that it might be worth leaving some of these missable iconics so that you can get them later in the game at a higher tier rarity. At least that's an assumption that I'm making, because I know some of these weapons previously rolled as tier 4, like you saw at the beginning of the video in my stash with all of those tier 4s. Now you can get them at tier 5 iconic. So within this vendor, you will see a bunch of weapons, including a bunch of iconics, a couple grenades, a few purples, and of course some ammo. So you can stock up on your ammo here if you want. A great thing to quickly note is that the grenades now are permanent and they are based on a cooldown. So if you don't have any tier 5 grenades, it's actually worth picking a few of them up, such as the two here, the flashbang and the frag grenade, because once you have one, you have it forever. So you might as well start upgrading to tier 5 as soon as you can. But within this vendor, you can see here, I have a bunch of iconics that you even may already have in your playthrough. This Carmen is a new one from Phantom Liberty. It has some special effects to do with shooting limbs to increase crit chance, but also has improved handling when running, jumping, sliding, and can also deal bleeding and increases its damage. So this is a perfect example of a Phantom Liberty iconic tier 5 that I missed based on my story choices, and now I can buy it here. The only caveat is that they're pretty expensive depending on how much credits you have. So you can see here I have about 185k, but to buy this Carmen would be 99,000, so it is a little bit expensive. If we come down, you can also see this is a great place to get the Order shotgun, which is this tech double barrel shotgun that when you charge it up does an EMP. And I have heard very good things about this shotgun, guys. I haven't used it myself yet, but I've heard other people say this thing's a beast, but I haven't used it myself, so obviously buy it at your own risk. It's 120k, so it's really expensive. But if we go a little further down, you can see here we have the Lizzie pistol. This is found at the very beginning of the base Cyberpunk game in Lizzie's bar, but because I never picked it up, I can now get it here as a tier 5 iconic tech pistol, which is pretty nice considering this one fires an extra round per shot and then fully automatic when fully charged. This pistol isn't fantastic, but the fact that it's brought up to tier 5 is pretty cool. And if we go down, you can actually see we got the Butcher's Cleaver as well. This is found in Roland's Butcher Shop during the map Tanpelon, I think it was. A quest like that anyway, but again, this is another one that I've missed and is now a tier 5. If we keep going, you can actually see Sasquatch's Hammer. This is a pretty iconic one from the base Cyberpunk game. I didn't pick this up. I think traditionally you had to pick this up when it was thrown at you, and if you killed them before picking it up, it would sort of despawn. I believe now that's been fixed and you can just loot it during the mission. However, if you did miss it, you can just buy it in the black market vendor, as you can see here that I can. And another really cool one to know about is the Errata. This is actually a thermal blade. It has a really cool sort of glowing edge on it. It's just a really powerful katana. This is also in a missable mission during the base game where you're searching for Evelyn. I think it's a disaster piece. So if you missed that, this is definitely one to buy. 100% recommend buying Arata. Really, really good. However, you also have the Satori and the Nihan, which are from the heist mission. Obviously, a really memorable mission from the base game. I think one is by getting it off of Sabaru Arasaka, and the other one is parked nearby his personal landing pad on the roof during the heist mission. But again, these were missable. You can see I didn't pick them up, and they have a really cool synergy together where if you hit a bleeding enemy with the Nihan, it doesn't affect. And obviously this one has the leap towards enemies, which is a really nice effect. But the Arata also has the leap, however, also has the crit damage bonus and the burning enemies, so the Arata is really, really cool. But as you can see, this is the place to go to get those missed iconics, and it seems to upgrade them to tier 5, which I think, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments guys, I'm assuming here that if you do a new playthrough, you could potentially purposefully miss these and then pick them up in the Phantom Liberty storyline at tier 5 iconic, but I haven't confirmed that myself. I haven't played through from the beginning, but it is worthwhile noting in case that is a thing. But again, it means you don't really have to worry too much about your story choices because you're not going to permanently miss them. You just have to spend a bunch of credits to get them back. And this is the place to do it. It's a really cool vendor. Other tier 5 weapons as well if you wanted to grab some of these specific ones like these smart SMGs that are also pretty powerful, but the iconics are more so where it's at, and I definitely recommend getting the Arata here and giving that a try, as well as the Order. I hear a lot of good things about the Order. But again, just to show you the location, in Dogtown, in the stadium, you see here Dogtown, the very bottom part of the map, the new area, right in the stadium, you've got this vendor here, and this is the one that you want to go to. So that's pretty much how you can get any of the missable things from the main story missions. You know, if you've done a mission and then that area is locked off and you can no longer get that item, then they appear here. Other items are found out in the open world or through side quests, or you can go back to those areas and reloot them anyway. So if you can't find something here, you probably need to go back and actually pick it up manually. But for locked off areas in quests that you can no longer do, the black market vendor is going to be the place to go. So hopefully that helps you guys out. Let us know in the comments if you found any cool or interesting things about the new Phantom Liberty expansion. I'm having a blast playing this. It's been super fun to finish it and now to explore and find everything. And check out the 2 videos on the screen now if you haven't already. We have loads of videos coming your way soon that you won't want to miss out on. So check the videos on the channel or these 2 on the screen and then tell us what you think after watching in the comments down below.